Seven?
share my game to
Seven?
you guys. Yes, I'm listening.
Why do Arc System games allow you to play the game with your mouse?
No, it's just Persona specifically, no other game.
It's just
Oh.
Persona.
Oh.
Atlas really wanted you to use your mouse, I guess. So they like made like a specific order or something, maybe. Let me turn down the.
Yeah, and I have like 5 buttons on this thing, so I could actually play it.
That's
It'd
so...
be really funny. You could have your other hand do whatever you want. You could be like drinking water. It's just like gaming.
It's a little bit of gaming.
It's like I'm switching between like a first-person shooter and Persona 4.
I can't believe that they made Naoto into an American. She just takes out the gun.
So yeah, I just did a super.
Actually has just pulls out the fucking shotgun. Like, I don't think she has a shotgun in the actual game. Hello, where did that come from?
No, she doesn't even have an SMG.
No, she just has a pistol and that's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, I don't know why she
Yeah.
gets.
She has the
She
SMG
becomes
first,
an
yeah.
arsenal.
Unless I forget something she gets
She
from
borrowed
Daigo.
it from Aegis, I suppose.
I guess also has a bunch of weapons, but I guess
it
it's
makes sense
designed
for
to be
her.
designed to be like it's designed to be a war machine.
I guess more like
But like now,
by-
it's like there's some kid who's like, you know, a bit of a celebrity. You know, she has like 5 followers on TikTok and 2 followers on Twitch.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
Have we read the streaming policy of this game yet?
No, we have not.
Seven, stop minimizing your application.
So stop minimizing your application.
Okay.
Keikoda Yuki, my beloved.
We are in the game. Question is, who will read the streaming policy? Who
Evra,
will
can you read the streaming policy?
I don't think I've ever read the streaming policy
Me
actually.
neither, yeah.
But-
I would never read the streaming
Let
policy.
Oh, amazing! Wow, we're gonna get this is gonna happen.
Dude, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. We can't read it.
You can't.
The universe is rejecting the Sekimeiya.
This is
I mean,
so sad.
the Sekimeiya crash, average Sekimeiya crash.
Average Sekimeiya crash. True, it's back. It's back. We're Barack. We're Barack. It's fine. We're Barack. See, we're Barack.
Hey, can you make Evra read the streaming policy?
Of course
I can't read.
But just read.
They shut the
It's not
Evra
easy.
that can read. The
Fair
other
enough.
6 Evras will have to like piece it together the best
Bro.
they can.
There's 7 Everest.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
7 Evras in total. 1 died. 1 is really good at Mario Kart and picks Bowser and plays the
What?
one.
I mean, to be fair,
What?
Bowser is like
What do you
very
want about?
very good at Mario Kart 8.
The joke is that
I
they
would-
all have schizophrenia.
I don't know who I would play in Mario Kart. I gotta see the Mario Kart cast. They have like a very what?
Joke.
No, hold on.
You
Mario-
want to see the
Reality.
Mario Kart cast? I got you.
No, it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yes.
heavy characters are really good in that game.
They are
You cut out.
actually
Yeah.
well. I think after the latest patch, one of the better builds might be the one with Luigi
I
or
think it's-
Waluigi.
Waluigi's, I think, like medium.
Big
Heavy,
Man, are
I
you,
think he's,
are you
like,
on my
in-
stream or is this like actually someone?
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
I would
Not
I
you,
would
yes.
I would play King Boo, not King Boo. Yeah, King Boo. I would play King Boo in Mario Kart.
Okay, now it's 3 viewers. Now things are getting interesting.
See, the
3
problem-
whole viewers.
Yeah, and
Whole view.
that are waiting for you to read the streaming policy, Evra.
see,
As the development team, we have
Oh
no
my
problem
God.
with full playthroughs of the game, whether recorded or streamed. However, please be aware that the soundtrack contains numerous licensed tracks that may trigger automatic copyright detection on various video platforms. This may result in issues with video monetization or audio muting in VODs, but should not negatively impact your channel as a whole.
Thank
He
you. for
lied. He
explaining
lied. He
that.
said he can't read. He just read.
What did he say?
He just said he could read, or he just said he couldn't read.
But he read.
I'm a classic liberal. What do you expect?
True. Okay,
I
I think we should
can't
ask
read.
Red Hollow about this. I believe we should inquire him about this. Why are the soundtracks, you know, copyrighted? Why would he do this?
I mean, there is not a single original song made for this
No, we
game.
literally already know the answer. It was the developer was listening to the music while
Yeah.
writing the
Shut up,
script
shut
and
up,
thought it
shut
was
up.
pretty cool.
That's
I,
Grand Hollow.
I can't.
Okay, let's ask Grand Hollow.
Do I ping him?
I
What is this Inferno? What have you sent me? What kind of? It says not safe for work, so.
What?
Oh,
It
yeah,
is very
that
basic,
is that is something. All right.
but it's accurate.
mean-
Poltergeist is the dumpy.
Lord
True.
Ackerman's Poltergeist.
True.
We are
Why
so
did he do that?
baroque.
Why would he
Why-
do that?
Why did SMT do this? What are they trying to tell us?
No clue, but what you guys want to know? What I do know?
Men.
Men?
It's no longer Schroeder Bros.
It is no longer Schroeder. Now, if you guys are willing, we will begin in I don't know, sometime.
Now.
Okay.
Okay, now who
Now?
reads?
Me.
Can't read.
Me.
We have
Imagine-
one guy that says he can't read.
I can't
You
read.
just like pretend
I
you can
think-
read. Like just look at the pretty pictures. It's fine.
I need someone to read to me.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. You
That's the
come to
whole
right
point of
place.
this.
Yeah, it's like an audiobook. Trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
Alright,
Except
Inferno-
every 5 minutes we get a sidetrack.
True.
Yes. I mean, this is just like Russian literature, right? You get sidetracked every 2 milliseconds. It's just offensive.
The Russians.
Yeah,
why? Are you,
Avera, it's like when we play Pathfinder.
why'd you bring the
What do you
Soviets
mean?
into this?
Well, you see,
Oh.
me when the
We get
Russian literature
sidetracked.
book from Dostoevsky or some shit talks about how he used Head and Shoulders as a washing shampoo this morning on a story about fucking death or
Then
kind of.
they don't add that. How? I don't think Head and Shoulders is
I
very
don't
like
know the
old company.
brands they used to use to wash their heads. I don't think there used
I
to
don't
be
know.
brands.
Probably some Russian brands.
Yeah. The point
Inferno.
is,
Yeah.
what they had for breakfast this morning does not usually matter in the plot, but they mention it anyway because I don't know why they do it.
Extend playtime.
Not playtime. It's a book. What do you mean playtime?
It is literally a visual novel, dude. It is the same thing. they
It's the same
make it
thing.
really long for no reason.
Okay, whatever. Inferno Gay Fire Go.
Because when you think about it,
Oh my god. Okay, what do we think about it?
books are just visual novel, but on paper.
Oh my god.
Dog.
What?
Visual novels have pictures, books don't. Unless it's like a picture book.
Certain
Well,
books have
yeah, but-
pictures in them.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
No, but no, that classifies under like a different tree of
No,
book,
it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No.
It's like the word of book is like a tree, and there's a lot of big subgenres.
All right.
And picture books is on.
Hold on. No, you're wrong. and this
That's
is
why you brought out the camera.
So-
let's be
Oh
honest.
no, we're
Okay.
never playing this game.
Oh god, that is bright.
What
Okay,
is-
okay. So we got a book.
God,
Here, right?
oh my god, what are we looking at?
So we got a book.
What
Is
That's
that
a
a-
manga.
Is that Neptunia?
That's a
Disgusting.
What is that? What is he cooking?
It's not a manga.
Words.
What
Buy-
book is it? What does he have in his hands?
Bifat,
You
please
didn't
tell,
see?
Dude, I
please
did not
tell me
see.
the source.
I'm too slow with my alt tabbing endeavors.
He's censoring it.
Boom. Picture.
It's no game no life. I've
Yeah,
seen this.
but it's that's what I'm trying to say. It's a different type of book.
It would have
Okay,
been
but it's
funny.
still a
if-
book.
Different. But
Okay,
it's still a
okay.
book.
It doesn't conflict
Yeah.
with what Inferno said.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
just saying.
So this whole
Okay,
argument was pointless. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
but listen. It would have been funny if Big Fat said divorced.
Can we get a boom?
Divorced.
Divorced.
Yeah.
Can we get
Yeah.
Mods, crush the skull. Thank
Okay, can I start reading?
one? No.
Yeah,
Yes.
Inferno Gay Fire Go.
Okay. I found myself standing in the middle of the event room, looking at a cupboard cabinet. That time, the instantaneous pain on the Sekimeiya surface had been interpreted by my brain as an electric shock more so than as a burn.
Uh, okay.
I won't be able to deduce much if I appear here, where I've seen so many times. I was here just before I went to the staff room.
Okay. We're
But
better
I knew
now.
that the amount of time travel was an entirely different deal. While it shouldn't have been too far back, nothing was for certain.
Dog, get rid of the accent.
It's my story time accent.
get rid of that shit.
I'm going to
That's-
murder you with a
Great
He's
pitchfork.
literally me. You gotta
He's
talk like
li-
me.
You're not even close to British. You're the most American as it gets.
You're the most American British ever, and that's not a compliment.
No, he's not British. He's not British. Didn't what were you? You're like French, right?
Yeah. Did you see I need more bullets or something? I don't know. Hasta la vista, baby. I need more bullets.
Okay. I was about to check inside the cabinet when the sound stopped me. Someone was still there. It had come from hallway A, so I cautiously went to check. What I saw, though, was something I hadn't been ready to see.
Tired Kate kissing.
7 go.
It's me.
Oh, new song.
It's literally me.
It's literally me.
It's
Wait.
I saw
literally
my
me.
own back walking away. I immediately
hold on.
understood where I'd gone. Definitely
New
more-
song alert?
New song?
I can't hear it.
I can't hear
anything.
it.
Hold on. I don't think there is any music. Lumen
Now
by
I can hear it.
Nya. Is like my game sound low on the Windows sound mixer? No, it's not. What is the problem? Why can't I not hear anything?
Right. Oh, there it is.
Alright, well, okay, buddy. Hold on a second. Oh my god.
The door sound
There
looking like
we
a
go.
Justice Slater. Guys, you like this?
Kill yourself.
I can't believe they put Ryan Gosling in this game.
It's literally.
See, ever this is what we were talking about. We get distracted every 5 minutes.
It's literally me now.
It is literally me. He saw himself.
No. Bro saw his shadow self from Corona.
It's Utski from Berserk.
I know what you want, Atsuki. I'm a part of you.
I know your
Are you okay?
deepest, darkest desires. I am a shadow, the true self. I
Yeah,
love kissing Sai.
Bro, what is
What?
this goofy ass song, man? What is this?
You know what this is? Okay, son, open up Google Chrome, go to YouTube, look up 10 hours of brown noise. That's what the song is. It's just
This
fucking
goofy
brown
out
noise.
popping sound is so annoying.
What the fuck
I think
is this? Yeah.
I think urinal.
True.
What aboutism?
What the
Ad
See, this is why
hominem.
we never. See, this is why we'll never get past chapter 1.
You
Okay,
gay ass.
everyone shut up. Everyone. Okay, I'm gonna read now. I'm gonna roll for initiative.
What
I saw
about
my
some-
own back, walking away. I immediately understood where I'd gone. Definitely more than 15 minutes back, to the point where I'd circled around the hallways of the crystal floor. When my past self disappeared towards hallway C, I calmly stepped out of the room. I knew I'd come from the other door, and that I wouldn't see myself. I see, so I went about 20 minutes into the past, and I can't precisely know what point the location was based on. Most likely a recent one, though. So I wasn't any closer to understanding anything. At least, by that point, I could be sure that the time that Sekimeiya spent out of the cabinet was related to the distance traveled, and they weren't equal. More time was traveled than the Sekimeiya spent building up, at least 15 minutes and above. I put my hand in the right pocket and saw that I had the other locker key. That meant that the replicated location was restricted to the time where I'd been in the event room after I'd found it. I could make out that it wasn't Naomi's.
In any case, I had little where I could move while my past self protected the Sekimeiya. As long as nothing happened to the present me, I'd be able to enter the staff room right after I traveled from it. I was almost intimidated by my past self, who was very close to me and putting conscious effort into hearing any noise, until he shut himself in the staff room. I wouldn't be comfortable looking around for anyone. Then again, it was incredibly unlikely that Shiro and I was searching for was close by. So I decided I'd start to go up already, feeling forced out by an old version of me. I had been minutes prior. I had been minutes prior. Realizing how ridiculous it all was, I walked the hallway C, making little noise. Two
Two.
screens, you.
Me.
He's so bad.
Something that I hadn't seen before caught my attention. It was a drop of blood Shiroya had spawned next to the stairs. I looked at it closely and determined that it was a try
Murdered
of
this
foley.
guy.
I'm not sure if I got the sound of it because I'm the blood or because I'm British.
Just be more American, please. I beg of you.
No, this is way too funny to
just
watch.
say you love guns or something.
What about this? Anyway, go to the next one.
Okay, sure.
This one has to belong to Sai. The others are too old to match the blood he had in his crown, but this one fits perfectly. Could he have traveled, replicated the blood in the past, and left older looking drops? At that point I had no idea, but I felt certain that something abnormal was behind all the drops we found. If I had to take Sai's word for it, the one in the lobby belonged to Shiroya, while he hadn't known about the one in the event room. It wasn't only that I didn't want to believe it, but that I also didn't know how that could be true. I might have been related to the other Shiroya team, but she hadn't appeared injured during the brief moment I'd seen her. Oh god, the song is annoying.
It is.
That's what I mean.
It's literally just like background noise.
Bro, I'd rather listen to background noise than this. I'm actually. I walked up to the stairs since I wanted to look through every floor. I thought about making my presence known by using the elevator, but I decided against it.
I can't tell which is more annoying, the way Inferno is using his accent or the actual song in the background.
It sounds like things popping, and it's so
Yeah.
annoying.
It's like those
See,
like
no-
rappers. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but those are satisfying.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
difference. For now, before I continue, I will let you know. I have these recordings, right? I will go to your grandchildren, okay, when all of us grow old, and I will show them these Sekimeiya playthroughs, and they will clown on you for the rest of time because of your stupid accent. I hope you know that. I hope you realize that. That's all I want
I
to
think
say.
I think they'll be proud of me.
I also thought you said rappers instead of rappers, and I was like, rappers are being blown up.
I mean, sometimes.
I want to make a joke, but that might get his pay.
Not blown up, but usually shot in the face. You know, they just usually just get shot.
I want to say something, but I might get his banned, so I won't.
Hey, go.
Okay. My lawyer advised me to not continue that joke. I arrived on the second
Seven-
floor and felt, once again, a desolate atmosphere. I wasn't sure what my goal was anymore, but I looked around the bathrooms and partitions. If I was alone, I wanted to be sure about it. While a hiding person might have been nearby, every time I opened the door, I felt my heart resonating within me. Remembering that it was possible I was about to find what culprit had done to Saya and Shiroya, I forcefully expelled that thought from my mind. There was no way Shiroya could suddenly die like that. But as much as I tried to reassure myself of that, Mia's abrupt end pressed down on the back of my head. Only one thing backed me up. If Shiroya was with different clothes, Shiroya with different clothes had been a result of a future travel, the original Shiroya must have been safe. After dealing with the second floor, I went to the third, finding my existence there surreal.
Reluctant to find anything, I repeated the process above and felt my isolation continue to intensify. Man,
Man.
So good. Okay,
You
bye,
so
Fat.
cracked.
Bye, Fat. Go.
Yeah, the fourth and fifth floors weren't any different. Was somebody still deliberately hiding from me? They were the culprit. Why didn't they just try to kill me?
are they stupid?
I was in the perfect defenseless position.
Defenseless!
So if anyone,
Oh, sorry, guys.
so if anyone wanted to harm me, it was their best chance. Going off the fact that nothing had happened to me yet, I tried to feel a bit calmer about my own safety.
Is this the third time we've seen the Defenseless 7 check?
I believe this is the third time we've seen the word defenseless in the script. One moment, please. Some of you might not recognize the significance of the word defenseless.
Correct.
It's
I
actually
don't.
the second time.
Bro, I'm gonna
thing
be honest
is-
with you. I think the chat log is deleting me.
Likely, yeah, it is. I think it's likely.
Okay, so defenseless is a very funny word if you know Fate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, if you ever
Ah.
seen any memes or like engaged in the Fate Stay Night fandom, you will know why defenseless is such an important word. In a sense of PTSD more than anything.
See, now we know Kinoko Nasumi wrote this.
True.
No,
Why
what?
do you think it
No,
fucking
what?
sucks?
What? Yeah, exactly. What do you think Kate's art sucks so much?
True.
It's because Sakeuchi doesn't know how to draw ultimate.
True. I can't believe Shiroya and Fate Grand Order didn't get the awakening she deserved.
Okay, but I love Fake Grand Warrior on the other hand.
She obviously
Speaking
got
of-
the big buffs, OP units.
I have
Yes.
a question for you guys. Do you think Aqua from Konosuba kind of looks like Shiroya?
I mean,
Aqua?
I guess, except
No.
I mean,
Uh,
both have blue
I mean, the
hair and
hairstyle
pronouns.
definitely fits.
It's
I mean,
just
the
the
hair
hairstyle,
fit-
that's about it.
Yeah, it's just the hair.
Just need to change a pair of different clothes.
And her whole personality.
Yeah, I guess so. But I was going off of looks anyway. Looks, not Luke's.
Loops. Brother, may I have some
Loops?
loops?
Nah, Luke's multiple
Luke?
plural of Luke.
Dude, you
Yeah.
look
Dude,
huge.
look here.
You Luke huge.
Same brain cell.
Luke from Streets! Okay, I think we're getting distracted enough today. We won't
You
be
think?
Barack if we keep going like this.
Bro, do you think
Shiroya.
this is like the most normal distraction we had like in the entire of Sekimeiya?
No, false.
The entirety of the second. Hey, go, go, go,
I'm
go,
going to run over you with an Akka rover.
You already read this.
go. Yeah, I'm waiting for the next line.
I'm waiting for 7.
There we go.
As usual, I first glanced inside the floor's 6 bathrooms to find out they were empty. Subsequently, I entered the 3 partitions, but I didn't see anyone either. Lastly, I walked up to the attic's door to search through the final section of the tower.
Damn.
Freddy
Yeah.
Fazbear.
Yeah, we lost it.
I instantly understood I had forgotten a very important detail. I couldn't open the door since Shiroya had recently locked it. Not only that, but she kept the key on herself. This isn't good. I'm locked out of the attic. Could it be they appeared inside and can't exit?
Gross, man.
I knocked on the door and yelled Shiroya's name a few times, but there was no response. That doesn't make any sense, though. If Shiroya appeared in the attic, her replicated location wouldn't yet have had the key, but Sai definitely would have appeared with it since he was able to chase us inside. And even if neither of them has it, they'd still have the elevator. From the inside, they could freely call it and go down. Of course, unless it had been disabled somewhere. I had been checking every elevator door, which I realized had been a mistake.
I tried to open the door on the 6th floor, which proved that the elevator wasn't there. Calling it might have been a bad idea, would prevent me from knowing where it was.
Walked down to the 5th floor and once again attempted to open the elevator door to no avail.
We're gonna go all the
Fine.
way down.
So overgross. I circled the corridors to end up on the 4th floor, but the elevator wasn't there either. Felt like the next attempt might have been the right one because the 3rd floor was where Shiroya and I had been intercepted.
Okay.
And as I suspected, the door opened.
That's so
Can you
sus.
put Among Us sound
That's
effect,
so sus.
someone?
Hold on.
I
That's
don't really have
emojis.
that, actually.
Actually.
Yeah, I don't have it added. I should.
Okay.
It hasn't been used since then, I suppose. I wonder if Sai had prepared something in case we'd use it to escape. Regardless, the door was closed, so it could have been called from the attic.
It was as
Seven?
frustrating and it was scary to think about. Had the culprit been in the attic and prevented them from leaving, I discarded that thought, wanting to believe they had appeared outside the tower. Could that have been it though? If Shroya had appeared outside the tower, she would have had told the police about the secret door. It would have been knocked down from the outside as soon as she had disappeared. No matter the case, with the key, the attic was a perfect place to hide from her. If the other Shiroya was still present and had it, it was possible I wouldn't see her in the next 3 hours. While her face and body had been that of Shiroya's, I was having trouble accepting her as the same person. I'd only seen her for a couple of seconds, but every part of her presence had felt alien, and even the Shiroya I was with had thought they couldn't be one and the same. I was unsure of what to think. I'd done all I could on the office floors, and I had to accept that entering the attic would be impossible.
I started to go back down, paying as much attention to my surroundings as possible. Soon, my quiet steps reached the last staircase, leading to the floor where my past self still was. I knew I hadn't looked through every room below yet, but I still felt that the task would be too imposing and uncertain.
No.
Knowing any sound could alert the Atsuki in the staff room.
Oh, I see how it is. No, bless you.
No,
I
bless
didn't hear you sneezed.
I sneezed.
Yeah, I
Still a
didn't hear
shit.
it.
I think you're bad.
He is so bad.
So I decided I'd first look through hallway A, which Shiroya and I hadn't had time to start before Sai had reappeared. Then I'd wait for my past self to disappear.
Also, I wanted to ask you about the sun. Did you clip anything from our streams?
No.
That is weird because I saw that someone clipped a section of the stream. Well, I didn't actually see the clip itself. It just shows you, oh, someone clipped on the stream manager thing.
Maybe you try to get something at some point. I don't know.
It usually
I don't
tells
remember.
you if you go on
Maybe-
Twitch to find it.
I don't remember off the top of my head, at least.
Someone
Well,
who's
I don't
not
see any-
clipped the stream somehow.
I don't see any clips at all.
It probably went away because the VODs disappear after 7 days.
Oh, no, never mind. I found it. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh my god, I hate this.
I carefully walked down the stairs and directed myself toward the storeroom.
Hadn't been in it since I and Shiraya had traveled. There was no change that caught my eye, as knowing whether the door had recently opened was impossible.
We're back in Gary's mod, baby.
Back in cute.
2 screens.
Two?
Yeah.
7, go.
As soon as I opened the next door, something stood out. One of the cabinets had its lid open and leaning on the wall. I frowned while trying to understand if that was really strange. You guys think there's a secret tunnel under one of these cabinets and you can go under or something? That would be pretty funny. Inside it
That
was
would be
Isla,
great.
the cabinet where she'd been found. I knew though that the last time I'd been there it had been closed. And that was just before I saw Kate's death. I looked at every room and there was no way I left this cabinet open. Was it a confirmation that someone else was still with me? Sai and the other Shroya were the 2 likely candidates to have done it. I was more confused than surprised. Why would someone have opened a cabinet and left it open? I didn't want to continue exposing such a tragic sight, so I closed the lid very slowly, not making any sound. I scanned the rest of the room, but I found nothing else of importance. Afterward, I proceeded with the search, my expectations of finding something suddenly higher.
But every room was empty. I still didn't want to make any accidental noise, so I only took a peek at them. I finished at the security room where Kate's scene of death hadn't gone any significant change. That's 2 screens technically, so Inferno.
Okay. I moved the chair and looked at the computer, which displayed 1824. I felt like going back to the staff room at 18... Wait, no. At
1830?
half
Bro doesn't
past...
know how to count.
No. Yeah, no, I
Bro.
don't. Half past 18? I don't know. Whatever. 1830 was appropriate, but I didn't want to risk being too early.
Oh, he wanted to be British, so he wanted to use half past. Got it.
Yeah.
It's
Why
like
is it- what-
7:30.
No, it's 18 is 6.
6:30.
You are so bad. Kate had. Mods, crush the skull, please.
Mod, crush his balls, please.
Kate had given his old workspace an abrupt shift of atmosphere with its dimly illuminated blood. It wasn't a comfortable space, but I decided to stay in for the remainder of time so it allowed me to keep looking at the computer's clock. Oh my god, my nose. I hate my nose. His face was under his desk, so I didn't have to look at it, and the unsettling smell of blood quickly stopped feeling imposing. Standing straight and with a blank mind, I stiffly waited for the time to pass. Until I remembered the chase from earlier. I kneeled beside Kate and put my hand in the pocket where he kept both of his keys. It's not here. The key to the bathrooms. All the others are, though. This killer must have picked it up, or maybe it was I, if they're not the same person. Regardless, it definitely would have been a bad idea to hide inside one.
Upon further inspection, I realized that the rusty key, which he'd kept in another pocket, was gone too. He also took that old-looking key. Could the person who dropped it in hallway A have been responsible for this? Maybe that's not it. I've been thinking that someone could enter the tower through the storeroom, but if that key belonged to that door, maybe they'd need it from the outside. I'm not sure they would have picked it up to appear in the past with it, though, since their replicated locations holding the key would be all inside the tower. Unless I go back to thinking about thought-up loops, I suppose, there could be something that would work. The culprit took that rusty key after killing Kate and walked out of the tower through the storeroom door, which was open. They created a location outside the tower where they were holding the key that could be replicated. Then, they re-entered and used the Sekimeiya to go back in time. In the past, they appeared outside the tower holding the key, so they were able to unlock the door and re-enter with something they'd obtained outside, like a knife. They left the door open so that their past self could exit with the key and create a replicated location. Would that work? The key isn't here, so I can't even attempt it. If the culprit's plan was to leave with the Sekimeiya, though, they would have been able to achieve it very easily by doing this.
Sen?
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't.
I was gulping.
I don't care. You need to be so fast that it doesn't. 1 nanosecond doesn't need to pass.
Me, when
I stood back up, trying not to meet Kate's look. When I glanced through the room again, I became aware of an obvious detail.
There we go. You're getting it now.
Hang on. This is strange. The computer screen is lit, meaning that somebody used it in the past 50 minutes. I remember when we found Kate's body, it was exactly 6:05, so it's been far more than that.
Actually, it's 5 sharp.
I'm going to
Bro,
sharpen
you're the
your
first
fucking-
person that I've ever heard call time sharp.
Well, yeah, like, or on the dot would also be.
Yeah, but nobody says those. When I say
I do.
5, when you say a number, right, like a time, if you don't follow it up with the minutes later, then people will assume that it is exactly on the dot.
Well,
So
technically.
unless I clarify, it's 5:35. When I
If you
say
wanna-
5, I mean 5.
If you want to be technical, you would technically need to say 500.
Well, nerd emoji. Nerd emoji. Pointing up, nerd emoji. Pointing up, nerd emoji. Fire, 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 fire.
Fire.
Just the next line,
Cloud
please.
emoji.
I
cloud
didn't read
emoji.
this one. You were. I suppose Sai did say he'd seen Kate's dead body. This might mean he saw it after us then. Unless someone else was here semi-recently.
Oh my god, we're in this game.
What I found most strange was that 3 screens looked exactly like they had at 5 p.m.
I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later.
Bye
Alright,
bye.
goodbye, bro.
He tolerated it more than expected. Good job.
Rare.
It's a visual
Right.
novel, you know?
I
Good
can't
job.
read.
I hate visual novels.
10:04. Cameras disabled and associated footage erased. That same message was on the side I dragged it to, and behind it was a security camera program. I grabbed the mouse and clicked on its Accept button. The program used a pretty complicated interface, and I didn't know what many things meant. As I'd seen before, there was a list of all the cameras on the left.
It runs on Linux.
Oh, Linux.
When I looked at it again, I saw that the one in particular was selected, named recam_12_01. I brought the cursor to it and tried to view it. But an error sound, accompanied by the same message, 10:04, cameras disabled and associated footage erased. It appeared we really couldn't look at the footage, but the message still felt too obvious of an incriminating attack at Takate. I let go of the mouse and stepped aside from the computer. I tried to think if the selected camera meant anything, but I had nothing to work with. Instead, I did what I planned to do and managed to let go of my thoughts until the time came.
I did what I had to do.
For a gay fire?
I'm
Sex
dying.
Gex Fire?
At 6:30, I walked to the door and left the room. It was time to reunite with the Sekimeiya, so I went to Hallway B to the event room. I'm so good.
The staff room was closed, like I left it. A little tense, I stepped up to it and turned the knob.
Okay, I'll be
I'm
right
so
back.
good.
I need to do something about this nose.
Bad.
Air it off.
I pushed the door open and saw the gray Sekimeiya on the floor. Since everything had gone as expected, I entered, reclaiming my place as the Solatsky.
Soul bag.
I was relieved that nothing strange had happened. I knew that I couldn't stop looking for Shiroya yet, so I picked up the Sekimeiya and put it in the newly accessible locker. It's good that I still have the key. If the replicated location had been from earlier, I would have lost it. I shouldn't have traveled holding it just in case. I left the Sekimeiya above and closed the door. Then I proceeded to lock it so that I would be able to wander around without leaving it easily reachable for anyone. Quickly became indecisive. Perhaps it was smarter to bring it with me while I searched it to use as an escape method if I suddenly got attacked.
Shauskin Ghost's a choice.
Having to constantly fear my death was disheartening, to say the least. While I decided, I sat next to the middle lockers. Maybe staying there was a better idea. I couldn't access the attic, but it was clear that whoever might have remained didn't want to show themselves.
Thought I had to look through the hallway B room before deciding to stop. I prayed that Shiroya was safe, but I could only assume that she wasn't nearby anymore. Might have already been in the tower for longer than the initial proposed 12 hours, adding all the time I relived by traveling through time. I must have been minutes away from meeting the mark. After thoroughly regretting having set foot inside the building, I stood up to make sure a nightmare didn't await in hallway B. I thought many times that the previous hours might have only been a dream. I already accepted the reality in which a time travel device existed. No matter what the events were leading up to, would the world undergo a drastic change upon being exposed to the Sekimeiya? I'd wanted that day to be the first day of my new life with Shiroya. Yeah, I read that right.
Infernal
What was
Gex
it?
Fire is back.
Welcome
But
back.
was it set to be a turning point for every human being?
What did I miss?
This looming song, we
Nothing.
did not miss anything.
We locked the Sekimeiya in a
This
cabin.
popping
Not a
sound,
cabin. Locked.
it's genuinely like fucking. What is this? Ugh.
The stream.
Okay, but listen, I found my dog in a very cute position. I took a picture.
What the dog
Be
doing?
giving like fucking subliminal messages to the song.
Bro, why the dog is doing that? Why is the dog doing that? Oh, wait.
Uh,
What the dog doing?
item I just locked away. What was it going to be responsible for? I'd sense it almost. I'd sense it almost break earlier, which could have been for the better.
Isn't she cute, Zen? Zen?
Then does not
Hey.
reply.
I was here. I replied. My mic didn't pick any of that up. I said the
It's
dog was very cute.
Quite sad.
Yay.
What the dog? Well, I guess I have to join in now.
I was walking to the door when I turned to glance at the locker. The thought of breaking the Sekimeiya crossed my mind, but it wasn't why I kept staring. Actually, yeah,
Self-proclaimed
what would
free thinkers when they see a doggo.
what would the sec? What, wait, I cannot get on my thoughts. What would happen if we broke the Sekimeiya? Actually,
I guess we couldn't travel back in time anymore.
yeah, but what about like all the different versions of us? Well, technically, I guess those are for different timelines.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe they made a Stinkskate reference. Stinkskate stinks.
There was something on the floor. Why is my dog barking? There was something on the floor to the left of where I'd been sitting. I approached it and saw a small piece of paper hastily folded.
Okay.
Oscar! Alright, we're good.
What the dog do?
I don't know why he's barking. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill him. Oh, okay.
Send him to China.
No, I would never do that.
Yummy.
Naturally. Bro, Chinese people, like, kill cats.
No, we're gonna get banned. But it is so over. My Twitch stream is done.
This is over.
It has
It's
never been
over,
more over
bros.
than it is now. Inferno ended my streaming career.
Sorry, no, we are not gonna get famous now.
It's fine. I want to.
Naturally. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I wanted to play Super Monkey Ball anyway on the stream. No, not this.
Naturally, I frowned. I didn't recognize it from anywhere in the tower. I grabbed it and looked at its contents. A few lines of text had been written in the back. In black, I mean. But before I read it, I had already stopped reading. A single peek had made my hand begin to tremble and my thoughts collapsed entirely.
What happened? Picture of him dead. What the dog do? Chapter
It's
1
just-
end.
just in
Chapter
short-
one end.
Chapter 1
Chapter 1
ends.
end.
Chapter 1
Please.
end. Chapter 1 end. Chapter 1 end. God damn it.
Uh,
Oh my god, we're gonna have it.
what does that have? What does this have to do with anything?
Seven. Check if it's actually was chapter 1 end.
Okay.
It's
No,
over.
false hopes are not very good for.
Oh
No,
my-
we're in fractal freefall of chapter 1.
whatever fractal freefall means.
What the fuck does that even mean? I hate English.
7 to go.
Visual novel authors trying to write like 1,000 different word combinations that have nothing to do with the theme.
Visual novel fans be like, yo, this fight scene goes kind of hard though, and it's just like a fucking Excel spreadsheet.
It reminds me of this. Hold on. It reminds me of this meme. Look at this meme.
Visual novel fans be like, man, that that fight scene with Moses against the water in the Bible, that went so hard.
So far, episodes, this is pretty good. Okay, so you're still an Orange Dominion. I know it's a little slow, but the next arc is so good.
Oh, dude, Galaxy Vacation?
Yeah.
As soon as I watched Galaxy Vacation,
I'll
I
be
was
right
like,
back.
oh man, I'm on board.
It's easily top 5 arcs, although I really love Jump Rope Canyon.
Jump rope canyon.
It's so long, though. Yeah, I know, but the payoff is incredible at the end. Plus, it leads right into Soda Pop Frequency.
That's not a real thing.
You know what's underrated? What?
Dog fight.
Dude!
Especially in the part where Benji couldn't fight.
Oh, hey, spoilers.
I mean, I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Okay. I think I'm gonna watch this video later. While
Galaxy Vacation?
Galaxy Vacation. I'm going to be right back. I'll get something to eat because I'm like legitimately starving right now.
Okay.
I actually have like stomach cramps. One moment. It's been a while since I last ate.
I'm gonna land
Oh,
then.
oh my god. I am going to listen to SMT4 OSC because SMT4 is the best game of all time.
False.
What do you mean false?
False.
What is the best game of all time then? What? Oh.
I'm back.
Seven went to get some food.
Did you read?
No.
What are we waiting for?
We're waiting
Seven
for him to
went to
come.
get food.
Oh hell nah. This is so sad. Can't believe they blue balled us like that. I wanted to see what was written on the text on the note, and they just
think
be
that-
like,
I'm pretty sure this is what it is. Or it's
well,
supposed to be like a
hopefully-
picture.
I'm back.
"Welcome back."
Oh,
Ow.
Nice.
Go 7.
I know. Hold on. Okay. The game's
Let the
back.
man let the man eat.
I'm not eating anything. I'm just like shouldn't. Okay. The stream is working. Everything is fine. We're good. Let's continue. I'm reading that right.
Mm-hmm.
One day, before the afternoon ended, I could see the figure of two young students in a bench, letting a cold breeze at their faces while they looked at the park they'd grown to love. They had been talking for a while, so they proceeded to quietly look at the younger kids run around, making good use of the last few minutes of sunlight. They were a boy and a girl who had known each other for many years. For that reason, the level of trust they built let them feel warm and at peace just by being next to each other.
You know, I'm not gonna say, I'm not trying to flaunt or anything, right? Like, I'm not trying to say I'm very smart, but I have a feeling on who those two could be.
what? Really? Audible gas?
I'm just not trying to flaunt or anything, but it could be Atsuki and Shiraya.
But them in like a different universe, maybe?
What gives
theory of mine.
what gives you that idea?
Go, go.
Soon after the other kids left, they would do so as well. Soon after the other kids left, they would do so as well. After walking down a few streets, one of the two would take a different turn to complete the day on their own.
I like how we just have wind rumbling. It's way better than that other song, to be honest.
I agree.
Then go.
That was a routine they were happy with and felt lucky to share. The boy let his mind relax, looking at the sky as it began to darken. It would soon be the winter, and the temperature would attempt to hinder those moments. That was why he did as much as he could to enjoy the scenery he'd been granted with, hoping the girl at his side was doing the same. Eventually, the silence was their cue to leave. Their gazes met again, confirming that it was time. They stood up from the bench and realized that they were much colder than they'd thought. Oh yeah, and the god of sun god started to attack them from the heavens.
The sun god. Apollo? No way.
The god
Actually,
of plot
was it-
convenience, it strikes.
Wait, was Apollo the god of the sun? Or something
Oh
related?
no, I don't know.
Yeah, Apollo's god of the sun.
Okay, thank you, bye fat.
Thank you, Bifat.
That's
They
what
were
looks to be.
they were They were about to stretch their limbs when an overwhelming light took over their sight. They lost control of their bodies and felt as if they were about to faint. When they next opened their eyes, they were unable to recognize their surroundings.
This is called a migraine.
Nero has the migraine skill.
Who?
Nero from Fate. She
They
did
were
this
to-
as a skill called
Right.
migraine. Also, why does this look so nice?
Yeah,
this looks
this
nice.
was very pretty.
This looks nicer than Kate.
Literally.
they were
This is where the
together.
budget
Oh
went.
fuck!
This is
Here's
where
the
the
thing.
budget went.
They were together, and they started to throw out questions to each other. Despite what they had experienced, they felt well physically.
This whole room has less folds and creases than the entirety of Kate's face.
Literally does.
Including
The
his
room where they
clothes.
The room where they found themselves had a very haunting feel to it. It was dark and spacious. Neither of them knew where they were, and they quickly saw it. There wasn't a door in any of the walls.
I would like to play a game.
Their experience had felt so surreal that just by seeing that the other was there, their hearts refrained from building up terror and panic. Trying to stay calm, they looked around the room to find any clue as to the whereabouts. Very soon, the girl spotted a few words on the floor. When the boy read them, they could only share stares to see how the other had interpreted them.
I wonder who the girl is.
What does this
Ah.
mean?
Is that me?
That's not you. It is Inferno. Well,
No,
I mean,
No, I mean like the reading because there's quotation marks.
No, oh yeah, but there's no like line.
Oh
Is-
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they would indicate if it's a character speaking. If this is just intrusive thoughts or what the character hears.
Thoughts. Okay.
But both of you would spend 100 years in this space. Once you exceed that time, you'll be brought back to your lives, but only one of you will keep your memories of your stay here. They kept reading those ridiculous words left in pink on the floor. Despite how nonsensical they sounded, they didn't question them. The room had 2 beds, no bathroom, and no kitchen. Not the conditions any human could live in.
Being adventurous.
Close to the letters, they found another strange sentence. It said, "Once a day, you can ask for an object to materialize, and the previous one will disappear. This is only as entertainment, so that your minds don't break." But where the fuck are we?
goofy out.
Chicago.
Chicago. This feels like what?
Dude,
This
Wait.
feels like Ohio.
wait, totally off topic, but there's something I have to mention, okay? Turkish? I use Spotify in Turkish. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure most of you know Spotify has ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys will not, and I kid you not, will not be able to guess the ad that I just got this morning when I launched up Spotify. It was a casual day, just like any other day. I'm
Adam
on
and Eve.
Spotify, and I
Mad
was
Dragon.
I was about to listen to a song, and guess what showed up in my Spotify homepage screen? I'm posting it right now.
Adam
Bro.
and Eve.
You cannot be real. What is this? What is this?
What?
What is
it? Turkey Hitler.
What is this? I was
This is
so
quite weird.
confused.
What did
I
they
was-
mean by this?
The plural of hits in Turkish is hitler.
Because instead of just putting an S, we put an LER at the end because we like making things harder than they need to be.
It is.
So the way we make words plural is a bit
Oh my
longer than expected, and we don't really have a specific, I guess, equal for the word hits, hit song. So it creates this.
And even yet Turk hit shut. What the fuck are these letters?
It's the Turkish
yes.
language looks like some guy. It's like Polish, right? You just like take out a keyboard, you like slam your face on the keyboard, and that's the language.
You know you know what I find like most hilarious about this?
Mhm.
After Hitler, it's just the fire emoji.
It's so good. This track go kind of hard.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Seven, please read.
Okay, 7, please go.
Yeah. Instead of laughing at it, the boy tried it out. The way he attempted it was by thinking about the object he wanted to create. Instantly, in midair, a red ball appeared. After gravity made it bounce on the floor a few times, he was left speechless by the result of his thought. When he explained what had happened to the girl, they understood their fate would play out as predicted. They had to spend 100 years in a bizarre world where their thoughts could materialize as items, but they themselves were restricted by the four walls of the room. So the first thing they did was to speak to each other, for in their immediate future it looked like a nightmare might have awaited them. Being trapped in a single room where they couldn't die sounded terrifying, but since they were together, they attempted to reassure the other by starting a pointless conversation about what had happened.
Zen.
1 second, I was reading.
Eat decent.
Eat faster.
When they realized it was working, the conversation stopped being forced. Neither of them looked particularly afraid, let alone terrified. They kept talking like they would every day after school, knowing what their future potentially held in store. The dream, it's kind of funny, guys. The people watching the stream, the top text is incredibly glitchy, and the second text is actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dreamlike setting they had been forced into didn't seem much like a dream to them. Why had they been trapped? How were they going to survive for 100 years? Why would their thoughts materialize objects? They knew all these questions were valid, but they simply accepted things for what they were. On the floor was a red ball, which had been the boy's first thought in response to the words he'd read. They were going to start playing with it, but something new every day sounded like a curious proposition that could keep them sane in the far future. They soon understood that there was no way to measure the time, so they'd have to count the days themselves, using daily objects. It had been late in the day in their own world, and their physical tiredness had carried over. At one point, they decided to lie on the beds and quickly fell asleep. Before doing so, the boy thought about what had happened. He was surprised not to feel many negative emotions, nor the desire to go back to the real world. He couldn't call it being carefree, but he woke up being well rested nonetheless.
The ball was still on the floor. They could only create a new object when it disappeared. Soon, when the girl woke up, they exchanged sleepy looks they had rarely ever seen in each other before. It was still the first day, but they already felt comfortable, accepting that nothing had been a dream. They started talking again, a long bed-to-bed conversation. Lame. Even when it ended, they didn't feel alone. That prevented them from seeing their future as grim. It's so sure over.
It's
One
so
sec.
true.
I think I might sneeze.
Okay.
I didn't sneeze. Okay. 3 days later, nothing had changed. They were perhaps as far from home as any person could be, but they still found themselves able to produce any topic and talk naturally, appreciating that they had each other more than ever. Egg.
Egg! Red egg!
Sekimeiya!
It literally Sekimeiya!
They
Spinning
agreed.
egg chair.
This is the spun glass.
It's a spun egg! Oh my god!
What
Dude!
if we had sex in the Sekimeiya chair?
What the Sekimeiya chair?
That's what it is.
Oh. Oh my god, okay. They agreed that they would. Oh no, I need to call myself.
Kante would love this.
He would. They'd agreed that they would trail off on deciding an object per day, but they quickly found that they didn't have many good ideas. The girl had always wanted a spinning egg chair.
Egg chair.
So she thought of one big enough to put her whole body in. It turned out to be exactly what she wanted it, so she spent the full 24 hours inside with a joyful expression. The next day, the boy couldn't think of anything. He thought of trying to spawn food, curious to see what would happen, but after writing down some failed ideas, he decided to call for the same chair. Wait, is this how like the Sekimeiya is made? Like, because technically, there's there's like half an egg, and the boy called like the other half. Then they joined together and made the Sekimeiya.
Is that egg sex? Would that classify under egg sex?
What if
Oh.
I put my egg chair next to yours? Just kidding, unless.
What if we had matching egg chair?
What if
Hand
we had
holding
sex?
the egg chair.
What if we had sex inside the Sekimeiya?
Sorry, girl. The only time we're having sex will be in the egg chair. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. Seven girl, this is you. I'm gonna start reading.
It would be soon the girl's turn again. She was looking up the red top of her chair while the boy stared at the room ceiling in the same way. Suddenly, words vibrated through the air. Aishiteru. The girl picked up from the chair in disbelief at what she'd heard. She saw the boy who had been her closest friend for so many years nonchalantly lying on his back. But that was far from how he felt on the inside. He couldn't believe he'd said it. Just after those 3 days, her overwhelming presence had prevented him from holding back what he'd been wanting to say for years. He'd always wanted to tell her how much he enjoyed being with her and how thankful he was for it, but he never knew how to truly express his affection. That's why he'd grown sad, knowing that their relationship had been built on only implied trust and fondness.
For that reason, the first time he let his emotions burst out, they had automatically taken the form of those simple words. While he'd been waiting to say them for a long time, he wasn't scared the reception might have been negative. He'd simply never been able to bring himself to do it, justifying it as being disconnected. Hold on. As soon as their new reality had been presented to them, he'd understood that he couldn't spend all the time suppressing his honest and natural feelings. And after saying it, his heart was pounding, like it was trying to break out of his body. He'd imagined the situation and many different outcomes, so he continued to look at the ceiling, awaiting the one that would actually happen. He kept his mind as serene as possible in the eternity between confession and response. He was prevented from leaving the room, even if he wanted to.
They're actually a fucking the Sekimeiya. No shot.
They really are going to. Really? I didn't think so. That's surprising.
Seven?
I know.
Yeah,
I'm eating.
Oh come on! You're not doing any. You press the button to go to the. What's your
I was
excuse
putting
for
the cookie
eating?
in my mouth so I couldn't press space because my hands.
You have
feel
two
like-
hands.
You
You
have
have
two
two hands.
No, I don't. I'm
You could
biting.
have. You could have used. I don't know, your foot.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I actually.
There really is no excuse out of
There's
this
no
one.
excuse for this one. Yeah, I'm just stupid.
She had a smile on her face and looked genuinely happy. Looking down and seeing it, the boy sighed in relief, knowing that no matter what would happen, he wouldn't regret having said it.
As it turns out, that wasn't the end of it.
He regretted
I've-
seeing it.
I've liked you for a very long time too. I was just scared to say it. Keeping the same smile, she let him know his feelings were shared. No shot. The boy wasn't
No
sure
way.
how to feel or respond. He wasn't good with his own emotions, but if he'd look at their situation from the outside, he would have thought that both of them liked each other. Despite that, he had never truly believed it.
So that girl was actually Sai. She transitioned into a male.
So
Yeah.
happy for her
And
transition.
then they became lovers.
I believe it.
Atsuki got boy preggers from his transgender boyfriend.
So
Anyway.
why you can have gay sex on the Sekimeiya?
Sekimeiya.
They managed to start up a conversation so that the mood didn't fade. There were many things they wanted to say and many questions to ask. Since when? How much? The girl knew her chair would soon disappear, so she left it for her bed, but they kept talking until they fell asleep. Okay, they did not fucking the egg chair.
Man, this is so sad.
This is so sad.
They'll spawn
Oh.
it again.
That was the beginning of the time they spent together. What the hell was that accent? That was the beginning of the. Thank you, Bifat. That was the beginning of the time they spent together. They had so many moments to reminisce about and many things they wanted to do. The days began to pass, and the same uplifting atmosphere stayed with them. Once he'd made the necessary step, the boy started to open his heart, no longer restricting himself. Elated to see the girl respond in the same way, strengthening the unbreakable bond they'd built over the years. One day, they kissed.
Ain't
And
no way. They did.
Yeah!
I ha-
It's him! He's pulling his cock out!
It brought them peace. It brought them peace in the already peaceful room, and it reminded them of the pod they were so far from.
Yeah,
Egg.
came back.
It's back.
The chair kept getting brought up back every so often. One day, the boy tried and understood why the girl liked it so much. Glad to see his liking of it, she joined him inside. They hadn't ever felt as close as that, but the relaxing sensation let them spend an entire silent day together, content to be living in the moment. At one point, the girl got confused, thinking the 24 hours must have passed, but she realized that the boy had already suddenly prolonged the duration, so she continued resting her face next to his. What, you mean to say there's more than 24 hours in a day? Are you stupid?
Ain't no way.
Did you know that there's an extra secret hour of the day called the Dark Hour?
Yeah,
We are a specialized extracurricular execution squad. We have to destroy the Dark Hour. We prepared an evoker for you. I'm just like reciting the whole trailer. Anyway. Similar days
Midnight.
continued.
Midnight's just around the corner.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this.
Okay, read.
Okay. Similar days continued until they had spent months together. Despite that, no second had felt stagnant. They continued to enjoy their stay, seeing in each other the same friend they'd always gone to school with. Their relationship had surely surpassed the norm. They only truly had each other, but that had always been the case. Even after being secluded in that strange room for all that time, they could still talk casually about things in a normal world, making each other laugh and showing interest in what the other had to say. Since he'd broken out of his old mold, the boy had grown used to voicing his true thoughts, like he'd always wanted to do. Some days, they would try to materialize new objects. When it was his turn, he created a huge trampoline. He'd always found them fun, and he'd thought about generating one for a while. They let themselves loose and used it for hours, as if their bodies couldn't wear out.
Egg close up. Egg
Egg.
close up. At one point, they stopped creating new objects. And when they could just be in the egg chair.
The egg is drawing them in.
They were happy
It's
they lived
crack.
like that. But they knew there was a detail they'd barely talked about.
Then, which
Yes?
one would win, an egg or a billion lions? One egg boy. Okay, here, let's read.
Finally, we're asking the important Sekimeiya questions.
Who's
reading
this?
Me? I read it already.
Oh, okay. My name does not matter. What matters is what I'm about to egg.
Currently marked on the floor, next to where they were resting, were always the same words. Both of you will spend 100 years in this space. Once you exceed the time, you'll be brought back to your lives. But only one of you will keep your memories of your stay here.
Oh
long-
no.
What's the one for?
The boy will forget about their memories and the girl will be sad and alone because she lost her lover. No.
This is so sad.
I'm going to cry.
Okay, but what if it's the other way around?
True.
What if the boy gets girl peggers?
As long as I have the egg chair, it's fine.
Yeah, true. That's the
have
only thing
no-
that was the egg chair.
Yeah, can we bring the egg chair like out after the 100 years?
The egg chair. They'd long since stopped keeping track of the days, aware that the final one would eventually come. They felt their sense of time had been altered since near the start, so they couldn't be sure they hadn't already spent years in that room.
Everyone is like, it's like 50 years from now, everyone is like gotten old. I suddenly pull up to the Discord voice chat, I ask like everyone where they live. I come to Zen's house, I bring like a huge box, he opens it, it's just a big fucking egg chair.
Egg chair.
That's my gift to you, Zen.
Thank you.
Aren't you scared to lose your memories when we come back? The goat responded quickly. Yes, but it'll be okay. We know how long we've liked each other for in the real world. What? So whoever remembers will just tell the other about it. There's so many things I want to do with you once we're back. Since one of us will remember, we can do all of them and more. Alright, whoever keeps those memories will confess to the other as soon as we come back.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Do you want to...
Oh no, I was just like I was talking about like the concept or the theory they had, like the person that asked the other guy.
Yeah, okay. Then they would live the life they've been talking about for so long. That was their promise. They had grown to love that room and the relationship they forged thanks to it. It's just a prologue for the inevitable return. Yeah, this is the prologue. But both of them saw it as much more than that. Chapter 1? Okay.
Nah, no shot,
this is
bro.
not
You
good.
know me.
And once again, time went on. They didn't get tired of talking, of thinking, of caressing, and of living. They spent every second as if no time was passing.
As long as they had the egg chair.
Hey, nah, hell no.
It's over. It's get me out of here.
Worst game ever made.
But eventually, almost 100 years had. They hadn't aged, and their physical condition hadn't deteriorated. Like they'd already done numerous times, they decided to bring a pool filled with water to the room, knowing how refreshing it was.
Wow.
This is like the most stock underwater PNG.
Yeah, that's
in
what I
my
was
life.
about to say.
Hold on,
Bro,
let me...
pull this out of Google Images.
Stock underwater wallpaper. Let's see if we can find it. One moment, please. Is it this one? It is! It is! I just found
Wait,
it.
really? You find
I
the
actually
exact
found
one?
it.
Pull it up.
Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Hitler Fire is the name.
You just noticed?
Jeez, yeah, I do.
There you go, everyone.
It literally is. They removed the fish. It literally is.
Oh my god, this
Dog.
is so, this is so bad.
Which song Kevin it was? Oh my goodness.
You cannot be real.
For
It's
real?
actually the same thing. What result was it? Was it like the first?
It's the hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So like Like scroll two pixels, and it's like right at the bottom on the third row of images.
I see.
Anyway, let's continue. Who was reading this part?
You.
Right. Underwater, the round interior of the pool was the last thing they saw in that isolated reality. They had agreed to never say goodbye, and they couldn't have even if they wanted to. In the blink of an eye, the room didn't exist.
Ah, hell nah. Buy water, stock water image.
Chapter 1 end?
Ain't no way.
After what?
Chapter 1.
Ain't no, yeah, I
No!
told you. No, shot.
The end is never the end.
Yeah.
Is never the end. Is never the,
The end is never the end.
Is that two?
That was
That
too
was too
smooth.
smooth.
Yeah, I got cucked.
Damn. Next to a bench, a boy and a girl looked at each other. One was staring into the other's eyes, whereas the other had simply returned the gesture. Just stir, whatever. I can't. What's up? I forgot. The boy froze. Was it really over? Did the girl in front of him really not remember anything of what they'd experienced together? It's like exactly what happened. Is anything wrong? He had no idea what to say, but his own words echoed in his mind. Alright, whoever keeps their memories will confess to the other as soon as we come back. Hey, did something happen? Nothing. Don't worry. Dog.
Bruh, you cannot be real.
But point and laugh.
You spent 100 years with me, and you wouldn't even confess to me again? That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
That's crazy, bro.
Red
I
flag.
remember the day you and we were in the egg chair.
Actual
I'll spit out my
red
water.
Flag. No bigger red flags have ever been seen. I'm just
With a
saying.
slight frown, the girl shrugged and picked up her purse. We should go with it. Dog. It's Seki. It's Schroeder,
It
bro.
literally is Schroeder.
He couldn't bring himself to say anything and simply stood still, petrified. He'd feared many times that he'd been the one to keep his memories, but the girl's words had kept giving him peace, letting him believe that it turned out fine either way. Are you coming? Still trying to find a place to fix his gaze on, the boy began to step forward. Something was preventing him from looking at her face. 7.
Whoever keeps these memories will confess to the other as soon as we come back. What? No, he couldn't do that. He had spent 100 years loving someone, but that wasn't the girl in front of him. He had come back and the girl he had loved had died. She only remained in his memories. He had spent 100 years finally letting himself be who he was, without judgments, without even thinking about it. However, in an instant, that had been reversed. He had never opened himself up emotionally to the eyes of a girl in front of him. He was the same reserved person he'd always been. She approached him with a worried face. Are you okay? He wasn't confused about what had happened. He understood it perfectly well, and the only thing he felt was emptiness. After nodding, he continued walking.
He hadn't seen those streets for so long, but he still remembered every bit of detail about them. They began to walk through the quietness of the night, hearing their footsteps on the asphalt.
No way. Streets?
And then your world tour character comes up, he's like, let's fight!
Dude, you look huge.
Next to the boy was his first friend, who he'd loved more than he'd ever thought he could. He knew his feelings were mutual, but how'd that help? He'd always imagined that. The inevitable sadness started to build up within him. He remembered how much of himself the girl had grown to know during those years, all the conversations they'd had, and every time they'd materialized something, he'd been told that their time together would end since the first day. But he couldn't believe all of that had simply happened and been lost. And there was nothing he could do. He couldn't confess his love again, and for the first time, he doubted it. The two same barriers had come back. Himself and uncertainty. Not a second of those 100 years mattered. No, of course that's wrong. You'd have to cherish and remember the times they'd spent in that intimate room, because in the real world, they would never happen.
The turn where they always saw each other off came. Are you sure you're okay? Don't worry, I am. Looking a little sad, the girl smiled and waved. Then, as they always did, both of them took different paths. Yet again, only one of them found it significant. It's so sure over, bros.
It
End of
is
chapter
literally
one.
sure. And that
End of
has to be it.
chapter
That
one.
has to be it.
Chapter one,
That
That
has
has
to
to
be
be
it.
Please,
it.
It
please,
has
be
to
in
be.
there.
please.
Chapter 1, end.
No.
Alright, that was a story I'd once
Mental
written.
breakdown.
Okay, it's apparently not real. Can you guys give me 10 minutes? It's my brother's birthday. I have to go celebrate it.
Sure.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay, time for the Neo
What
Shut
is-
video.
What is this music?
We'll turn that down a little bit for now.
It's so sure over.
Truly. Very well. Time to put on the distraction, I guess, for the viewers.
The Nero shot.
Exactly. That is what keeps the viewer attention up. That is my strongest weapon. There we go. It is how it is. Well, now that we have the overlay
Is
back
what
up,
it is.
it is what it is, yeah. So he just made all of that up, Totsuki.
I can't believe it's all sure over now.
It was never like, you know, it never started to begin with.
Man.
I'm going to impale you with a Aqua Road Roller. Can someone speak?
No.
This is so sad.
Same brain cell.
Trying to figure out my headset. That's the problem. I think I have healing loss on my left fucking ear. Probably.
That sounds bad.
It does
And
sound
unhealthy.
bad, but I'm not particularly unhappy about it. I don't care.
Damn.
I will keep on listening to loud music because it's not about living long, it's about living fun.
A7.
Mm-hmm.
You know how in Danganronpa 2 they're in a place called Jabberwock Island, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was called Jabbercock instead?
Yeah?
That is really funny. I'm coming after you. Well, where's that welterweight clip?
I've had a good chuckle over that.
Inferno, take a look at this. I've had a good chuckle over that one. coming after you.
Why did he turn into Walter White?
I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. The birthday has been
So back.
celebrated. Yeah. I'm coming after you.
I love gaming.
No.
No.
Man, what is the song again?
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Should we stop here? Actually,
Do you want
it's
to
been like
stop?
an hour. Actually,
If-
an hour and a half. Actually,
If we stop, we can play Q2. Do you guys want to play Q2?
Oh, that could be fun, actually.
I can't play it for long, but I could probably play
I would
a little bit.
I would like to
How
go
long
to
are
bed
you guys
early.
talking about? For how long can you play Big Fat?
Like another half hour.
Oh, so that's
Oh.
just doing that is more story at that point.
Yeah.
I'd
Like,
say
we
let's,
get into, like,
finish
maybe-
up the 2-hour length of the Sekimeiya stream, I'd say. At that
So you
point.
guys want to do 30 more minutes of this?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, we might just finish chapter 1, guys. We might. Imagine that.
No, we never
Trust.
will.
It'll never happen.
Trust.
Never happened.
Bless you. Who's
Bless.
reading this?
I don't know.
It's you,
Me?
Inferno. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a story I'd once written. I've always been prone to letting my imagination run wild, and sometimes I make up full little stories. Unable to sleep one night, I thought of that one. It was a very shallow story, but that night I felt the need to write it down, which I never tended to do. Of course, I never shown it to anyone, but every time I thought of it, strong and bittersweet emotion would fill my brain. When I opened a piece of paper and read the 4 thin lines on it, every word of that story came back to me.
Hello? I'm sorry that I have to write this. I still can't believe what happened. I haven't been able to stop crying, but I've always tried to tell myself that these things just occur. I know how selfish it is that I'm writing this, but I won't be able to live with myself if I don't. I need to say it. I was wanted to, and I can't believe I ever will. I love you.
My hand hadn't stopped trembling, and my heart began to catch up to it. What in the world was I reading? I jumped back to the story I'd written a couple of years prior for a very simple reason. The handwriting on the note was my own. But couldn't be. I'd never written that, and I never would. However, I knew very well the single thing that could have ever made that note a reality. A voice played in my mind.
Big chair. Oh, man.
I guess that's, yeah, word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiraya's fate is death.
Shroya
Man.
stay night.
I,
Yeah,
I
does
assume
that
I just
count?
keep reading, or?
I guess, sure. I don't think that counts as a different screen, technically.
Okay. Those had been size words, but they couldn't be true. I'd feared before that the day would come where I could no longer tell her how glad and thankful I was to have her. There is no way I'd let it happen. No, wouldn't happen. That note had my handwriting, but it didn't mean anything. I would never write it, even if at a later point the worst happened. I wouldn't. But it existed. I had it in my hands. Where had it even come from? I hadn't seen it on the floor, so it had been in my pocket and fallen while I had been sitting. Or had someone left it there, knowing I'd come back? My heart rates alerted me of how anxious I was. My existence felt insignificant, but I still told myself I wouldn't let that reality happen.
I burst through the door and was greeted once again by the desolate hallway B. I began tightly gripping the note, the thing I despised, with my right hand. I detested it and wanted to distance myself from it as much as I could, so I left it between the handrail and the wall to avoid touching it for even another second.
Finally, Shroya, hey, where are you?
Alright, that's
Go
a bit too calm, but sure.
I don't want to yell. These walls are thin.
Okay.
I suppose.
I need to see her and know that my fears wounds are not true. We just lost Mia, but I knew that I wouldn't be myself again if something happened to Shiroya.
Shroya, can you hear me?
No. Fuck, I can't. I couldn't say the Japanese word. This is so sad. I will never recover. I opened the room in front of me and left it as soon as I saw it was empty. I kept crying out, impulsively exhausting myself as much as I could.
You're okay, right? If you can hear me, please come out. Say something.
Soon, my voice started to crack as I realized how close I was to the reality in which my oldest friend had died. Sai had spoken it like it was an absolute, and I found a note I wished I'd never read. I kept telling myself that there had to be another meaning, but my shouts devolved into hopeless crying until I fell into my knees in the middle of the hallway.
Alright, so end of chapter 1.
No, obviously not. Come on now.
Chapter 1.
End of chapter 1.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. I mean, you're dreaming big, buddy. keep
This is
on.
so sad.
Welcome to the real world.
This is so sad.
The infant world.
I was so lost that I didn't consider the importance of the sound I'd heard. Footsteps. I suddenly processed it. Abruptly, I raised my head. That's on me.
It's so Shirover, bros. Abruptly, I raised my head and turned to face the lobby.
Oh, different clothing, Shiroya? Wait, that's so rare.
There, I saw a slender figure looking at me. It was Shiroya, her face near the breaking point. However, she wasn't the one I had been thinking of. Her clothes were from the attic, and despite her expression, she felt wrong in a way I couldn't define. It seemed like she could disappear at any moment. Without taking my eyes off her, I stood up. She hadn't moved since we'd seen each other, so I began to warily approach her. Are you actually Shiroya? When I had been crying her name, I'd only been wanting to find her to be able to hug her tightly. After she suddenly appeared like that, though, I couldn't bring myself to go forth, unaware of whether I'd stop myself or her overwhelming look had. As if she hadn't heard me, she continued to stare at my chest with a melancholic look. Where were you? What's with those clothes? Are you the same person who disappeared with Sai?
After some seconds, she finally answered.
I'm sorry. I'm very confused too. I guess so, though.
You guess so? What do you mean? You remember everything, right?
Right now.
She stopped.
Yes?
She looked around and glanced over my shoulder. When I realized she hadn't paused voluntarily, I turned around thinking she might have seen something.
What?
Oh,
Jump scare. Is there like blood on her chest?
That is!
She's back from the dead.
She didn't. Oh right, she was supposed to die. Wait.
She is dead, not supposed to die.
Everyone's dead.
Necromancy.
Hell no, does that mean we're gonna see Kate's ass getting back up too?
Atsuki, this was all just a big prank. You got pranked. Here's the camera, Atsuki.
Something to read.
The Sekimeiya isn't real. I had failed to recognize the sound I'd been constantly looking for. Footsteps were approaching. However, a figure came with them. I could hardly believe my eyes until I understood what I was seeing had already occurred before.
I'm glad to see you two are safe. I was a bit worried. What's with those clothes? You weren't wearing them earlier, were you?
I couldn't act shocked or even surprised. Erna, who had died, was behind us, quietly approaching. It looked like she had come from hallway C.
Who the hell are you? Or even you? How could two of you exist? What?
It was the same thing. The body double I'd gone on about earlier. Erna's had appeared, and next to me must have been Shroya's.
Where were you? How did you just appear out of nowhere?
The confused expression she
That's me!
No, the way that's
Bruh.
The confused expression she responded with was more than frustrating. I tried to focus on breathing to keep myself together. Just by looking at her, I noticed two glaring details. She looked almost as if she was sedated and only partially conscious. Her voice and body movements had also been giving off the same feeling, so it was clear that she wasn't in the best state, either physically or mentally. But the major point was her clothes. Her chest was covered by the same bloodstain I'd seen before, and so were her legs and the upper part of her face. I'd spotted the same scratches that indicated a fight, meaning that her body was identical to the one I'd seen.
So the chest wound isn't what killed her then? Probably.
28 stab wounds. What do you
28
not understand?
I turned
What do
this
you
white
not
woman into
understand?
17 different white women.
Did you
Thank
just
you,
pop into
Nanaya.
existence at some point? I thought it was 21.
No? Why do you think that?
It was actually
Have you-
21. Wait.
Have you looked at that room? Your body is there.
That's kind of messed up
You
to
don't
say.
tell somebody.
Yeah, that's gonna. Hey, buddy,
Such
your
a
corpse is in the
side
other
thing,
room.
There's such a side thing to do. Holy shit. He's taking over our body.
What? That one? It can't be.
You staggered
stag-
and took a. That
I
was
think
it
it's gonna be
too?
fat.
Okay.
Okay. She staggered and took a while to complete her sentence, trying to overcome whether her condition was. Yeah, whatever her condition was, she walked to it. The door was already partly opened, partially, so she just had to push it the rest of the way.
I knew you were lying. I can't be here. Of course not.
The body is gone. I didn't have to move. Through the door, I could see that Irina's body had disappeared. Next to Naomi was Irina's curtain, where it had been left on the floor, no trace of a corpse I'd attempted to dignify. Shroya, what the hell is happening? Answer my other questions. How can you exist when it shouldn't be possible? The same thing happened to Irina?
To Erina, she should be dead, right?
Shroya left my side to look through the door and saw that Naomi's corpse was in the single remaining one. Wait, the cross.
The cross.
What
What does that
Cross.
mean?
She was ahead of me, so I had the chance to look at the color
Oh,
of her
right.
shirt where I'd drawn the black cross. What?
Oh, remember
We drew
how I,
a
like,
cross.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
A
remember.
long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Well, we marked it when we went up to
Yeah.
the attic.
It's not there.
I don't remember this.
That's not you, Seven.
It's not
Yeah.
there. I'm sure that's the spot where I marked it.
About Erina, I think what happened isn't what you think.
What collar? She doesn't have a collar.
Actually, she is not wearing one.
That's probably right. I can't think of anything anymore.
This looks like something a grandma would wear. Like a very progressive one.
Under those stained clothes, there's no wound, right? Huh?
Erina looked at her own chest and was taken aback by all the blood she saw on herself.
There never was one. The body you think disappeared is her.
Do you mean that she never died?
She nodded.
Didn't we like check her pulse?
I don't
She-
think we do.
Sneeze?
Bless you.
No sneeze. No
No
sneeze.
I thought that was a sneeze.
Okay. It was like sneeze question mark.
Bed
Okay.
man. Question mark.
If that was the case, it was painfully simple, and I failed to think about it because of all the overlapping thoughts I had on the matter. I mean, thinking about a replicated body would show the stained blood but not any wound, well, sure enough, we never actually confirmed there'd been one. And of course, the blood, if it wasn't there, there was another very clear candidate to consider.
Are you serious? Were you playing dead then? Or just unconscious? It doesn't look like you feel very well.
Not sure. I remember I was drawn to this room and then I think I blacked out.
Drawn by a noise?
No, something stranger, something stronger, but I'm not sure what exactly. I don't know whose blood this is, but since I woke up, I felt groggy and numb.
See.
7.
I don't know. Would we have known she was alive if we felt her pulse then? Her experience was enigmatic, but I understood that what had come afterward could have been a result of our mistaken assumption.
Bro couldn't find the pulse. Shiroya, do you remember finding her body as well? And you realized what really happened? You still haven't explained what you're doing here. Are you the same Shiroya who disappeared from the event room at Sai?
I wish I could explain everything to you, but I still really don't know what happened. But yes, I'm really glad to see you again. She smiled. It was her. The person I'd cried the name of. No matter how many questions surrounded her, she was okay.
She's smiling, and I love the way she smiles.
You are my friend. What's with those
You're my
clothes then?
You're my friend now.
Why is the cross on them? Why did you ignore me when we saw each other in the event room and when I kept shouting your name?
Well,
Sai stabs him.
Hey, I'm still confused, but I have a question.
Huh?
Who gives a shit about you?
The Sekimeiya, does it really make you travel through time? How does it work then?
That's the problem, Aaron. We don't know. we
It
have
doesn't.
no clue.
It doesn't.
Doesn't work.
What?
Sekimeiya was based on the Source engine.
That makes so much sense.
EA made the Sekimeiya. It's on the fucking frostbite
I
engine.
understand. If I understand it, touching it with your skin activates it, right? And you can go far into the past if it's out of the cabinet for a while.
That's what I've been working under, yes. I looked at Shiroya's face in case she found something wrong with those words, but she nodded, albeit uncertainly.
I was thinking, why don't I just go back in time to save Isla?
Ugh. Neither of us knew how to answer. We concluded the past couldn't be altered, so that shouldn't have been possible. In the bedroom, despite managing to act semi-compromised, Arena had always looked sorrowful. She tried to hope that her daughter had somehow survived. However, the woman in front of us was different.
Also, you
Yeah.
misspelled one more, not compromised, composed.
Oh, composed. Okay, my bad. But, yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. That she is as composed as she is.
Casual loops.
I mean, at
Oh,
this
by the
point,
way,
yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Okay. I was gonna say, at this point, like, nothing really... Like, what more could you lose at this point if you're Arena, right? You lost your own daughter. And you just learned that somebody faked your murder. At this point, what phases you?
You have no reason
And
not
you're
to become
yeah.
Godzilla.
You're in a place with a egg that makes people travel through time.
Man, that protein really does help, huh? How do you like your eggs, then?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you eat them on a breakfast?
Most of the time
fried?
I like them boiled, but not only does boiled take like a very long time, it's also like it doesn't have a lot of quantity in it. so I take them fried instead because I feel like fried is faster, easier, and there's more things to consume. It's more filling.
I see. For me, I prefer boiled eggs for this one and only reason. You see, you can just like take the boiled egg, you put like some salt on it, you just like make it go. Then you just like gulp it down, and you're done. Your breakfast like protein intake has just been like fucking delivered right to your doorstep. It just takes a little time to eat, and because I don't boil the eggs myself anyway, because my mom does, I don't really need to worry about the time.
By the way, this actually exists, guys. Look at the wish shot.
Did you find like? Oh my god, I want one of these.
You can buy it.
How much does it cost?
Bless you. Let's see.
Thank you.
It's $200.
Probably-
Watch.
Okay, the website selling it doesn't load.
This is so.
A small.
But I can't believe they have actually merch for this game.
It's $65.
It's not that bad. I
It's
mean,
small-
I can't
a
afford
small-
it, but it's not that bad.
Bless you, Jesus.
Once I have like a full-time job, I'll buy one. Once I
A lot-
stop being a college student.
Bless you again.
Thank you. A small price to pay for Sekimeiya chair.
Sekimeiya chair, like Sekimeiya furniture.
Bifat says that you're really quiet compared to me.
Who? Who are you referring
Yeah, you
to?
are really quiet, Seven. Increase your own audio.
Oh, it's because I'm not like particularly putting a lot of energy into my voice.
No, that's definitely not it. You're just really quiet, like
Okay.
insanely quiet.
Let me check what's going on in here. Man, it can't go one stream without, things going wrong, huh? In the audio department. Let's make that like 13. I took the voice gain from 9 to 13.20 decibels. Is that any better? I don't think this is quite it.
Yeah.
Let's make it like, I don't know, 16 decibels maybe? No, 16 is not enough either. You know what? Make it like 20. Who cares? This is better. Yeah, this should work.
That works, yeah.
There's this microphone gain setting in OBS, which is essentially what we're looking for.
I'm not kidding. I just sneezed like 10 more times.
He is
Bless
so
you.
bad. Also, bless
Times
you.
10.
Bless you times.
Bless you, blessed. It's like Bible
Remember how you
blast
said-
for saying bless you.
Kate blast. Remember how you said yesterday that you were, feeling sick? And I asked you if you were sick, and then you said no? Well.
Hi, it's me, Natasha, the underground doctor. Feeling sick?
I didn't say I was feeling sick. I said I was feeling tired. That's it. Just because I'm tired doesn't mean I'm sick.
I mean, you're clearly sick right now.
Bro, I literally just sneezed. That's all that happened. Oh my god, when Big Fat comes back, we need to end the stream.
We still have 10 more minutes.
What do you mean?
We're at 1:40.
We have 10
1
minutes
hour,
until we
48
can
minutes.
finish this stream.
Yeah.
We can finish chapter 1, guys. Trust. I believe.
What if I don't believe?
That would be quite saddening.
Hey, Seven.
Hey, Seven.
Hey, Seven.
We are so back, fellas.
We're so
Hey,
bad.
Seven.
We are so baroque.
Why can Seven hear me? Hey, Seven.
I can't hear you because you're stupid and my brain cannot comprehend stupid.
That's crazy.
Hey, Seven.
No.
That's crazy, actually.
Hey, Seven.
No.
Hey, Seven.
No!
Evan, why can't you
No.
hear me? This is so sad.
You suck.
Zen,
Why do
Is that-
chameleon? Yeah.
Zen, please tell Seven I said hi.
Why do chameleons change color?
Why?
I am bad.
Why don't you change color?
If we could, then there would be no more racism. It would be quite convenient, actually.
Exactly.
It would actually be quite the nice addition.
Okay, but you know what would be even funnier?
Do explain.
Honk.
Oh.
I'll honk it again.
I've honked. Seven, get back into the game.
Okay.
We're
The
missing
game.
the egg chair.
Get back into the game.
Can you guys see the game?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. Someone killed her a few hours ago, so I just have to travel to that point and prevent it.
This is called the second stage of grief. Actually, I forgot what the second stage was.
No, this is 3 because
Yeah.
it's
Three.
bargaining.
Yeah, it's
Two
bargaining.
is
Yeah.
anger.
Yeah, bargaining was the
Deni-
third.
is
I'm
the-
stupid.
It's like denial, anger, depression.
No, denial,
No.
anger, bargaining,
Bargaining,
depression,
depression, acceptance. There we go. Yeah. I was remembered it as DAB though.
Bruh. But I couldn't find the Sekimeiya. I kept looking at Isla's face for a very long time, and she told me she could be saved. Then I saw a girl, and after that I heard you two shouting. I heard you shouting.
A girl? You saw Shiraya?
I guess it couldn't have been anyone else. It must have been Shiraya.
What about the second Isla?
It's Psy pre-transition.
Pre-trans. Man, Sekimeiya is so progressive.
Sure. Finally, a good game. Where I feel represented. You know,
Go
people...
to the next line, please.
Okay. You know, people...
Zen, make ... noises.
Nah, we did the same joke in the Great Ace Attorney. It's not funny anymore.
It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore.
I also saw what happened to Kate. It looked horrible. Did someone do that?
That is a great
Nah, it was
question.
just
Did
the wind.
someone do
The
that?
wind did that.
Yeah, I think he's
Somebody
kind of
did.
like tripped on us. You know, he slipped on a banana peel. That's what happened.
It's like a Mario character.
Have you guys
It
seen
plays
Hideo
like the-
Kojima's new tweet on this matter?
It plays like the goofy cartoon sound effect, like falling sound effect when he hits the banana.
Like Kate slips on the banana peel and like he doesn't like fall at first. He just like looks
Yeah.
at the ground. And he like notices that he's floating and then he starts falling and then of course just
Yeah.
skull. Anyway, Hideo Kojima has a lot to say about progressiveness in video games. Take a look at his tweet, guys.
I love Hideo Kojima.
I also love Hideo Kojima.
People in the West have asked why no diversity in my games, but they are wrong. When all my games have included a gay character, you're the player.
Is that not true though?
Okay, but like actually true.
Yeah, have you ever met a straight cis white man playing Metal Gear 3? It's so rare.
Everyone is gay for Snake.
Exactly.
Let me get back in the game.
Okay. I know more looking at Discord. Let's continue. Did someone
Go to the next line.
do that?
No, I think it was just the win.
Must have been the win.
Your ass is alt-tabbed.
What do you mean?
His ass is
Seven-
taking a screenshot.
Yes, I am.
7, go to the next screen.
There you go. That's the new reaction image. Actually, no. I can make this better.
Oh my god, just press the next line.
Calm down. It's
No.
not that deep.
I refuse.
Okay, that's better. Okay, now we can continue.
It could have been an accident.
Does he know?
But anyway, Sekimeiya's not in the event room. I ate it.
Are you sure?
No.
No.
You know what it could be? I really need to find it.
No, I suspect Sire Akira must have taken
Uh-oh, lie alert, lie alert.
it. Inferno, I think.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter anymore.
I hated it. But I can tell where I'd hidden it. She couldn't accomplish anything by going to the past. She would just have to experience Isla's death a second time. However, we never seen that Erina in the past, so I could know for certain that she wouldn't travel.
Are you lying?
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not.
That's what a liar would say. She's been alive all this time. Could she have seen me bringing the Sekimeiya to the staff room?
The way you two reacted. You don't want me to save Isla, do you? That is not it at all. Remember that Sai and Akra took the cabinet key. They probably have the Sekimeiya.
Shiroya was backing me up. I didn't know why something about her still felt off, but I was starting to accept that it was actually her. We just had to clear things up and to understand exactly what had happened, but she remembered having disappeared with Sai. That means she must have known I'd taken the Sekimeiya myself. But Erna didn't give in. It was clear that she didn't trust us at all, after all. Despite what we talked about in the attic, she went to the event room, so we quietly walked behind.
Alright.
I knew
Oh,
it!
man.
Oh, hell no. I knew it! You were lying! Huh? You didn't want me to look at the cabinet. What?
Behind the curtain was the
Zen?
glass,
Oh,
and
no.
beyond that, the Sekimeiya I just left in a locker rested on top of the cushion.
The glass has been spun.
Shoria looked at me confused. My words must have led her to think that the cabinet would be empty. It's teleporting. No, it must have just teleported from the locker to the cabinet. Dog. There's
Dog.
2 egg chairs. And of course, there's no coincidental place. Coincidental?
Coincidental.
Oh, coincidental place. Must have returned to its starting point or something similar. Place where it has the cold temperature.
I have done nothing but teleport eggs for 3 days.
It respawned.
Henry's but went out of like the play border.
Arena opened the glass and rolled the second. Oh, I didn't roll.
She spun the glass.
She spun the glass.
She spun the glass.
Roll
Arena opened
credits.
the glass and rolled the Sekimeiya into her purse, avoiding direct contact with it. Then she immediately let the curtain fall again to make sure it wouldn't be put. She wouldn't put it back in. There was a long silence until the hallway a door opened. Wondering what else could happen, we turned to face and saw someone step against the room.
This is kind of awkward. Who is this?
Me. I wanted to yell at him as soon as I saw his face, but I was too fed up to do so. I looked around me and laughed internally, having gone so quickly from thinking that I had been alone to sharing a room with 3 people. Being received in silence, I approached the cabinet.
What's up?
What the fuck are you even doing here? Did you succeed with that plan of yours?
No, not quite, unfortunately. I thought Erna was dead. What's she doing with the Sekimeiya?
You thought that too? No, I'm going to the past to save Isla.
I doubt that. The past can't be changed.
That's nonsense. I'm going to the past so I'll prevent Isla from dying. You used the Sekimeiya before, right? How long do I need to wait to go enough hours back?
It should be about 15 minutes, but I still find it unlikely you'll change anything.
Sai, where the fuck did you go? Were you in the attic?
I was putting on makeup for you.
Do you know where Shiroya went? I saw her disappear with you.
Isn't she next to you? What's with those clothes anyway? Aren't they from there?
They are?
I see. They're definitely an improvement for you.
Yeah.
Just ignore me. I
Damn.
was busy sorting something out.
7.
Alright.
7.
Since Sai had entered, Shiroya hadn't taken her eyes off of him. Immediately after that last line, her lips curled up into a smile for a second and her eyebrows raised. More moments of silence followed. Erna still showed no signs of reconsideration, and we couldn't forcefully take the Sekimeiya from her. So I had nonchalantly said that 15 minutes would be enough to go many hours back when I just traveled approximately 20 minutes after storing that amount of time. I looked at Erna's purse, where the Sekimeiya must have been getting hotter and hotter. Wait, that's...
Oh, right. I'd forgotten about this too. Still with her groggy voice, she traced my gaze up to her purse and took out a small piece of paper. Found this just now. I tried to read it, but my head hurts a lot. Do you know what it is? She handed it to me and I snatched it away, gripping it tightly. My hand started trembling as soon as I glanced at the words again and saw those familiar letters.
My fanfiction, no!
Hello? How do you have access to your fanfiction with Sai?
I have weed rolled up in that one, Shiroya. You don't want to look.
I left it behind without thinking about it, but I couldn't let Shuraya read it. Despite how suspicious it looked, I immediately stored it in my pocket.
Who has an ambulance going through their house?
Me.
Zen.
Zen.
Okay.
Zen,
Shiroya.
please stop the ambulance.
Shiroya, there isn't...
He's gone.
trust me, this is not a love letter written by my parallel universe self. This is... I just have weed in there, in that paper. It's just cocaine. Trust me. Hey, what was that?
Shuraya and Erna had also found my actions strange, but I couldn't let them read it under any circumstances. Shuraya would easily recognize my handwriting, so I'd run away if necessary. You can just rip it apart.
Don't mind me, like you said.
You look pretty nervous. I saw something written in there. We're pretty in control of things when you pulled off that trick with the key earlier, so why is this making you get all worked up? Do you want to hide it that badly?
Correct. It's just a personal paper. It has nothing to do with you or the Sekimeiya.
Very intriguing, then.
You didn't push it further. Yeah, you didn't push it further, but at my side I saw a mix of confusion and sadness emanating from Shiraya. No, it was understandable. I still didn't know what she'd gone through, but before entering the tower, we'd spent many days mourning our loss, our shared company being a silent healer, saying it was a personal matter. I'd outright said I only wanted to hide it from her. It never made it apparent I could have been hiding anything, no matter how small. I still had many more questions to ask her, but what would my response be if she ever inquired about it? When she saw that I had nothing else to say, she smiled bitterly and looked down at her feet.
So, did any of you see Mia?
Nope. Dead.
What does that have to do with anything?
Sekimeiya.
Sekimeiya, literally.
Who's Rem?
You don't know her, right? I knew I wasn't going insane. How do you know that name? She's the person I was with earlier, before I saw you two. It just came back to me. I don't know where she went there.
What the fuck?
Hell no.
Hell no.
What insane
What?
hell are you thinking?
What?
What
What?
in tarnish?
The
Yes.
fuck is
What are
going
you talking
on?
about?
I think that line is the perfect place to call it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
absolutely.
hit the 2-hour mark. We did not finish chapter 1 as we have predicted.
Who could get?
Who could have
could've
guessed?
guessed?
I'm so surprised right now. You guys have no clue.
I'll kill you. I'm so sad, bro.
No
We will
chapter.
never finish this game.
I gotta get you.
Alright, see ya.
See you, Big
But goodbye,
Mac.
bye fast.
Bye bye. You guys want to know how Sekimeiya OST sounds like? Sounds like this meme. Like, it sounds like this meme.
Zen,
Yeah.
can you make that? Did someone do that? Like, screenshot a sticker in the server? Do we have any more slots
Why'd
to do
you-
that? I deleted
I'm
the other
not
one because I
sure.
think the one with like half her head cut off looks funnier. I think.
It's gonna be a bit more awkward to make that a sticker, but I can try.
True,
Go
that
ahead.
does sound like. True, that does sound like Sekimeiya music. Actual Sekimeiya OST.
How could the Sekimeiya do this?
Would the Sekimeiya do such a thing? Anyway, GG's. This was a fun stream. It was not. I hate this game. I'm going to kill someone in real life.
I'm glad to be back at it again.
Same. Back to the
Yeah, now
Sekimeiya grind.
And now we will not play the game for one more week.
True. This is just like us translating video games then. Anyway, I'm gonna stop streaming now. GG's.